Hello. Today we're going to look at a game which will be a Caro Kann defense. Game was played on the ICC. It's a Blitz game. ECO code is B10. Our themes will be controlling the D4 square and domination of the dark squares. I'm playing black, and my opponent played E4, C6, knight to F3, D5, E5. White's moved into the advanced variation of the Caro Kann. I play C5, gaining space on the queen side. Play C3 and bishop to G4, pinning his knight to his queen and getting my light squared bishop out in front of my pawn chain after I play E6. White plays D4, challenging the center. Play E6. Bishop to E2, breaking the pin and defending the knight. Knight to C6. And now I'm beginning to add to my pressure to the D4 square. I have a knight and pawn attacking it. And after the exchange of my bishop for his knight, I should be able to win this pawn. Especially after I bring possibly my queen to B6. White's turn. He castles. I played C takes D4, C takes D4, knight at G to E7 with the idea of bringing the knight to F5, adding to that pressure against the D4 square. As such, this is pretty well what I have in mind. White plays bishop to G5, pinning my knight to my queen. I played H6, attacking his bishop. He retreats it. Possibly a better retreat might have been to bishop to E3, helping to defend the D4 square. But he played bishop to H4 instead. And now I bring my queen to B6 with a dual attack against the D4 square and B2 square. White plays B3. I played knight to F5. And at this moment I have three pieces attacking. White has two defenses. So the game continued with bishop to G3. I capture the knight, eliminating a defender of D4. White responds with bishop takes F3, and now I win the pawn with knight at C takes D4. White plays knight to D2, and I play bishop to C5. The bishop adds to the pressure against the F2 square, which will be a target square for me. White plays A3 with the idea of pushing B4, forcing my bishop and queen off that diagonal, that battery. I played knight takes G3, eliminating one of the defenders of the now key F2 square. This will be where I'll be directing all of my play towards, is the weak F2 square. H takes G3, the only way to recapture. No, not the only way. If he played F takes, he would have been subject to a discovered attack with a knight move and bishop check. I played knight to F5. Now you can see how much pressure I have on the white king. I've got my queen and bishop attacking the F2 square and the king, and I have my knight, which will be attacking the G3 square, which cannot be recaptured because of the pin on the F2 square. White makes the move king to H1, moving his king out of the pin. A possible continuation for white would have been, maybe it could have been B4. But then black would have continued bishop to D4, queen to A4 check, king to E7, and rook at A to D1, with this pressure still on the F2 square. But the game didn't continue that way. It continued with king to H1. And I played bishop takes F2, plays G4, attacking my knight. If he would have played rook takes f2, then of course I would have just taken with my queen. He could have played g4, and I still would have a very strong attack against his king. But the game continued with, after bishop takes f2, he played g4. I played knight to g3 check, king to h2, and notice how black has, his pieces control these dark squares. And this domination is total for black, and it will be what causes, or one of the main causes for white to lose this game. I now reposition my queen with queen to d8. Again, moving on the dark squares, bringing my queen to the king side, assisting in my attack. White plays king to h3, and now I played knight takes rook at f1. He plays g3. I played knight takes g3, king to g2, and now my queen moves closer to the king with queen to h4. He plays king takes f2, and now knight to e4, which is discovered, or double check, king to e3, and queen to f2 check. White's king is now in the center. He's being harassed and chased. He plays king to d3, and now knight takes d2, capturing another piece. White played bishop to e2. If he would have decided to capture with his queen, game would have continued with queen takes f3, queen to e3, and queen takes g4. At this point, I'd be up a rook plus 4 pawns. I'd be able to castle at my leisure, and his king is robbed of any protection. It's out in the center, and it would not take long, and I would most probably mate him, or he would resign. But back to the game, he played bishop to e2. I played knight to e4, b4. White doesn't have a whole lot of choices in this position. Just about any place he plays, he's just so far down material that it'd just be just a matter of time. I play rook to c8, bringing my rook to an open file, another piece in the attack. Plays queen a4 check, and I played king to f8. And white, in Dustin, wanted to attack my queen, get it out of its hair, but by doing so, he allowed rook to c3 mate. And you can see how black used the total and complete domination of the dark squares to break open the position, harass the white king into the open board, and I eventually delivered mate. Well, that was my game. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it. It was very fun to play. So thank you very much.